Hello, I'm Lamisile Pamela Ngubane, and this is the Entity Dynamics podcast. So, the title of this video is A Culture of Disengaging and Detaching from Our Abusers. Okay. The reason why you need to detach and disengage from your abuser, is because if they are a part of your life, you're not going to be able to actually deal with the trauma that's associated with their abuse. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people will be like, no, forgive and forget, let sleeping dogs lie. The problem is that those dogs are not sleeping. They're barking in your mind on a daily basis, telling you the same things that your abusers told you about yourself, diminishing your ability to see yourself for all the worth that you actually have. Okay. And I was thinking there's actually something which is a dynamic that I think I have a hypothesis of it, but I'm pretty sure it's accurate, that a lot of victims of abuse, like narcissistic abuse in particular, but all abuse is narcissistic because you have to be a narcissist to abuse your own children, okay, or to abuse your spouse, or to abuse your sibling or your niece or nephew or whoever, and so you have a situation, and I think let's primarily talking about parental abuse, okay. If your parent abuses you, and let's say, for example, they're like the deacon at the church, right? And everyone thinks that they're so fabulous and so moral, right? And you start to experiment, let's say, with drugs or alcohol as a way of trying to make yourself feel other than what they make you feel. Like you're basically trying to numb your pain. You're basically trying to change your state of mind so that you feel more relaxed and less caught up in these negative feelings that have been growing in you since you were basically a kid, right? Because narcissists don't have children out of love. They have them in order to create an appendage for themselves, okay? So that they can have someone that they can present to the world as mini-me. And so they'll pressure you to be all the things that they couldn't be and all the things that they would love to be, right? So that they can tell people, look at my child, look how good this child makes me look, okay? So I think there are certain circumstances where if a parent was on your case about something, like let's say, or harped on about how great they were because they did or didn't do something. Like let's say your parent was like one of those people who's like so proud of themselves because they don't partake in any form of intoxication, right? Or they're even like, I don't even take like pharmaceutical medication, that's because I'm so pure and I only do the things that God, tells me to do, right? But they're a narcissist. At home, they treat you like gag. And then when they go to church, they pretend to be like the holiest of them all, right? You could get into drugs and alcohol as a way of rebelling against that parent, right? And then you become an addict. So you need to disengage from those parents or that parent or that system, whoever it is that has this position of power over you and who you're rebelling against. You need to disengage and detach and distance yourself from those people, because that rebellion that is self-destructive now on you is not going to stop, because you're going to associate stopping with as if you are endorsing that person's worldview. And other people who see you stop, you're thinking to yourself, they're going to see me stopping because they're going to think that my parent, who presents themselves as so holy, has prevailed upon me to emulate their example. And because you know the truth about this person and how nasty and hypocritical they are, you are like, I would be damned if I do anything that gives this person any sort of credit for anything good that I do. Okay. So in order for you to heal, you have to disengage so that when you do stop, you're stopping for yourself in an ecosystem that does not contain these people in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Now, if you live in the same house as the abuser, It's not so easy to distance and disengage, right? But there is a way to do so, and that is to stop participating in the social events and functions that they participate in. Okay? Stop going to the same church. Find your own church if you do go to church, if your family is a church going family. And often narcissists are some of the most hardcore church goers because going to church gives them a veneer of decency and makes people believe that they're somehow good people, right? Stop disengage. If there's family functions, find yourself being busy. Get a job, some obscure job, or make it up even. The family function, I'm sorry, I can't come, I have work. And you go and, I don't know, go hustle, make some money. You know what I'm saying? Find reasons to not participate in the social events and functions that these people are part of, so that also you can show society that you are not standing with that person. Because when you go to church with them, everyone thinks, oh, look at this perfect family with this perfect head of the family who's so pure. What a shame about their alcoholic or drug addict son or daughter. Disengage. Start creating distance. Start planning your career. Start planning your exit strategy from that home. Figure ways out that you're going to, if you're old enough to work, maybe you didn't go to varsity or something, or tertiary, or if you're going to tertiary, find a way to do it out of the province so that you have to board there. You know what I'm saying? Find ways, because that addiction is not going to get you any street cred from the community. That community has been weaponized against you by that narcissistic person who's in a position of power over you. Whether it's a parent or an aunt or uncle or grandparent or whoever, that community has been weaponized against you. So no matter what you do, you're going to lose with those people. So you need to disengage from the family system and from the community system, because unfortunately that's the case. That community has been weaponized against you. They're never going to see things from your perspective. Okay? Detach, disengage, and distance yourself, because that is the only way you're going to heal. That is the only way you're going to escape. And then you can forgive. But don't ever forget, because they will try and get you back into the family dynamic, because they use you. You see, the fact that they can look at you and say, oh, my child, I wish they weren't such an alcoholic or such a drug addict. They use you to make themselves look better. Okay. And so if you're not there to be used for anything. And they also use you as an emotional punching bag, So you have layers of trauma, and, your nervous system will never be able to relax and be safe enough for you to start to heal, and for you to also start to forgive yourself for that self-destructive behavior that you engaged in as that act of rebellion, So please, I think, there's a lot of also NPOs and communication hotlines for free that you can phone to get help. You can join Alcoholics Anonymous, even online. You can go to their meetings and start to rebuild your life, because it is not worth it to throw away your life in rebellion to an abusive narcissist. Okay, whether they are your spouse or some sort of family member, it's not worth it. And you're not so screwed up. If you do end up dying because of that, they will be on their knees next to your coffin, weeping, so that they can get everyone's attention and everyone's sympathy. Oh my God, they were such a good husband. They were such a good wife. They were such a good parent. How could this person put this good person through such pain? Why couldn't they get their life together? Meanwhile, that person put you in that box. Don't give narcissists the satisfaction of winning over you. Please do whatever you have to do. Disengage, distance yourself, detach. You don't owe anyone your life. The only person you owe your life is you. And these people have no sympathy. They have no shame. They have no conscience. There's nothing. Even your rebellion, it doesn't touch them. It doesn't resonate with them. You're only hurting yourself. So stop hurting yourself, please, because the world needs you at your best. Thank you.